The majority of that panel also said that President Trump's speech last night was better, an improvement from his inaugural address. Here's some more of their reaction.
Tell me what you thought was better. What exceeded your expectations?
More rational. He was conciliatory. He acted presidential. So I think that's a very, very good first step on Donald Trump.
He acknowledged the hate crimes that have been happening in the country right at the top. He addressed that. I thought that was very important.
And was that significant to you?
Yes, me personally, absolutely.
Because?
Because I see what's happening here. He mentioned the Jewish cemeteries that have been desecrated. That's the kind of stuff you expect from Europe. It's not the kind of stuff you expect from the United States. There's been a whole bunch of problems in the United States that have happened since he has come into power, and he doesn't acknowledge it.
What else?
I really like the fact he brought everyone together, Democrats and Republicans, regarding veterans and taking care of our veterans. That's not a political issue. I think, regardless of what you think, these are people who have served in the military. They're down on their luck financially with their health, and after putting no blame on the past, but what do we have right now? We need to take better care of our veterans, and he did make a commitment to that.
He didn't address it. He did not address the problem with the VA. The VA is not doing anything. Doing very little for vets.
And he should, and we all want to see it change. I think that's the point. There has to be a change, and it's for both sides.
But he had a good scriptwriter. I mean, that's the thing. He had a good scriptwriter. That's very good. He's got a good scriptwriter.
Go ahead.
That's one of the reasons I absolutely love Donald Trump, and that, like, every time throughout the campaign, he would always mention the veterans, and even the other Republican candidates did not do that, and that's something very important to me.
And tonight's speech?
Veterans. And in tonight's speech, he did address it. Yes, I would love more specifics, but obviously he can't get it all done in 1 hour. But I do believe he will take an action to change it and help them.
He covered so many topics. He went from the hate crimes, which I was concerned he would talk about, and he did, unity, and then he went on to about, how to try to come up with solutions to replace
But then on the same hand that he talked about the hate crimes and the desecration of the Jewish cemeteries, which is horrible, he neglected to mention the desecration of the Indian burial grounds with the pipeline. Right. So are we either against?
He asked for cooperation.
Yes, it does.
He delivered on his promises that he will follow. And he said, my job is to be the president of all Americans.
Can
you ask for anything?
Did you deliver that tonight?
Yes, he did. Yes,
I don't think
he did bring everybody together against the drug companies.
How is it going to be tomorrow?
Tonight.
What are we going to see tomorrow? And I think that's what we need to be watching for, because up until now, we haven't seen anything like this. And he spoke in broad platitudes. Who doesn't want our kids to be safe and healthy and have a good education?
Yes, but he did. Hold on.
Where are the specifics?
There was one moment when he spoke specifically, in fact, several moments about business. And you all, Democrats and Republicans alike, applauded him. Yes. Let's take a look.
Solving these and so many other pressing problems will require us to work past the differences of party. It will require us to tap into the American spirit that has overcome every challenge throughout our long and storied history. But to accomplish our goals at home and abroad, we must restart the engine of the American economy, making it easier for companies to do business in the United States and much, much harder for companies to leave our country.
Probably the best line of the night was to buy American, hire American. Why was that so positive for you? What stood out?
Because it increases jobs in America, and also it brings confidence of us as customers in American products.
It's a feel-good, patriotic, but the realities kind of cancel things out.
It's going to bring the people together, more unified.
You think so?
That's the one main reason.
We love America.
I understand you love America.
People have been hearing about unemployment and how people have been leaving the workforce. This gives people hope that maybe there is a pot of gold at the end of that rainbow.
Well, for me, it's words. What would give me hope is if he and his daughter's company come back to America, then that will prove to me that what he's saying is true. Exactly. Because they're not in America.
Several weeks ago, his vineyard applied, I believe, for some more visas to bring in, foreign workers.
Are you sure?
I believe that's the case. It could be an alternative fact. I don't know.
Well, we know that their clothing companies are not here.
Just so you know.
Fair enough.
So what advice do you have, as a way to conclude this segment, what advice do you have to Donald Trump? You saw the speech. You saw the Democratic response. What? Say it again.
People will be against you no matter what you say. You cannot win everybody. Just stay the course and do the best you can under the circumstances.
What would you tell him to do?
He's going to have the promises that he made to the Democrats. He's going to have to get the Republicans on board and keep them, because politically, that's the only. The Democrats are going to stand and block everything he tries to do. But when he's trying to give them what they want, then they're going to have to answer the American people.
What would you tell Donald Trump right now if he's watching?
Be careful who you listen to, because you're not getting all the facts from all the right people.
Interesting. One more. What would you tell him?
Keep going strong. I've seen him taking action, and I want him to continue.